My first guest tonight has starred in The Onion Field, Salvador, and Nixon. He's also won Emmy Awards for his roles in My Name is Bill W. and Promise. His latest film, Ghosts of Mississippi, opens next Friday. And it's a real pleasure having him with us tonight. Please welcome James Woods. For coming.
It's so great to be here, I can't tell you. I can't tell you, it's so great. Is that tree pretty? It's
beautiful.
Pretty, isn't it, though?
Did
you notice?
Yeah, I noticed.
He's not allowed to look at it
because you won't get a word
Don't look that way.
You know,
Ye of little faith.
There's a... we were chatting just before the show, which is allowed, by the way. We're allowed to converse.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we are.
And we have a lot in common, actually. We're both from the New England area. I grew up in Boston, but hung out a lot in Rhode Island, and you're from Rhode Island.
Yes, and we're both... Thank you. We're both kind of nerds, don't you think?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we had the same amount of hairspray today. I mean...
I was born with this hairspray on my head.
Were you like a nerd in high school, seriously?
Yeah, I was kind of a nerd, yes.
Kind of, or like full card carrying? Like, did you have a pocket protector?
I was a huge nerd.
Thank you.
No, I didn't have the pocket protector or anything, but I dabbled in nerddom.
Did you have a slide rule?
No.
I had not only a pocket protector, but a slide rule that fit in the pocket protector. and I'm not kidding, I was in the slide rule club when I was a kid.
You're kidding, really?
No, I was a total nerd.
What was your social life like back then? Was it difficult?
Well, if you had to guess, what would you imagine? If you, in fact, this is really, I was like literally the biggest nerd in the history of nerddom. Mm-hmm. And there was a woman who was incredibly beautiful when I was in high school, and she went with, they had we had two groups of kids in our school, the collegians, like me, college bound and so on, mm-hmm. and the mondos, who were like the cast of Grease, okay? And
they actually sang songs.
They actually sang songs, and they kicked the crap out of everybody walking down the hallway. And the head mondo, who probably chased me down and beat me up again, 27 years later, was a guy whose name actually was John Lennon. And the girl's name was Sally Enos. She was beautiful, and she went with John Lennon, and she sort of was in the wrong track in life, but she was wonderful. And for some reason, she had an argument with him, and word came back that she thought I was cute, believe it or not, pocket protector and all. So I take her on a date.
Oh, my God.
And the date I take her on, because I'm the ultimate nerd, is I take her to the Rhode Island Philharmonic to listen to classical music, okay? Oh. I mean, her hair was so big at that time, you couldn't get through the, it was like the thing. So
they just saw out a piece of door.
I take her to the Rhode Island Philharmonic. We sit there. It's like, I have total flop sweat because it is the most failed date in the history of heterosexuality. I take her home. Nobody says a word in the car. I drop her off. I go home, and like I hide in my basement for like a week because it's like the worst date ever. Cut 12 years later. I come back. I've just been like nominated for like an Emmy or something. Like all of a sudden I'm like a movie guy, right?
Right.
And I bump into her literally at a swap meet in the local area, and we sit. We have a cup of coffee, talk all the time. She said, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "You know that night you like took me to the Rhode Island Philharmonic?" And I said, "Oh yeah, God." She said, "Why didn't you ever call me after that?" I'm just curious. I said, "Well, the Rhode Island Philharmonic." She said, "That was the most wonderful night of my life. I can't believe it."
No! That's terrible.
And I realized that my nerddom at that point, I realized was like genetically inbred because only a true nerd could completely miss the possibilities.
But you didn't even know your glasses were all fogged up.
And my pocket protector was spilling. And, I was horrified.
That's incredible. You also, I don't think people know this about you, you went to MIT.
Yes.
And came very close to graduating and then walked away.
I walked away to become an actor. Great move.
How's that going?
I wish I could have made so much more money working for the State Department. But anyway, majoring in political science.
But
I walked away. I was on high dean's list and full scholarship. And my mom, who's actually out here in the audience tonight, Ma, just wave so I can see it.
Wait, there she is right there.
There she is, Ma. Ma.
Right there. Keep waving.
Right there. Stand up, Ma. Stand up. They have cameras. There she is.
Wave again.
Ma, wave again.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait, everybody's waving.
Wait a minute.
They're all waving.
Everybody's waving.
You're a bunch of counterfeit. Now she waves. Mom, you're off camera. Now come on.
There she is.
There she is.
I like how those people think that they can trick you into thinking that's their mom.
They're all counterfeit. They're all bogus. Most of them are guys. Are you in dresses, you guys? What is it? So I called her up. I go, Ma, we got some bad news and some worse news. The bad news is I'm quitting school on high dean's list, full scholarship. I know you worked really hard to put me through. And the really worse news is I'm doing it to become an actor.
Oh, my God. That's every mother's nightmare.
And to this angel's credit, there was the longest pause in the history of telephonic communication. And she said, well, just follow your heart. And, she gave me this great motherly advice. And, and that's why she's here today and why she pays my salary.
Now, did you ever...
However, years later, like literally about 2 years ago, I got a letter from the Dean of Humanities at MIT saying, you're one of our most illustrious celebrities, blah, 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 and we'd love to have you come back and have a dinner in your honor and so on. And I wrote a letter back saying, thank you, but I don't know if you know this or not, but I was just really, all I had to do was my undergraduate thesis, and I'm not really a graduate, but if I did that thesis, I could be a graduate and so on. I hope you're aware of that I'm not really an alum. The sent back letter said, no, that's fine. However, you're a little incorrect. You are short your thesis and 3 years of physical education, and if you complete that, then we'll have you back and we'll give you your degree. And I had this notion of this, 49-year-old character actor in, those little blue outfits they used to make you wear in gym, climbing the ropes and hanging around Boston for 3 years, go Monday and Thursday to gym class. With my pocket protector, thank you very much.
That'd be the stupidest career move, I think, possible.
I don't know, but I think it could pay better than this because, hey,
You never know.
$100,000 a day, they must pay that, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Who can tell? I have no idea.
I think they
Can
do.
you hang on 1 second? I want to do a commercial because I like making money for NBC. That's just it's my passion in life. When we come back, we'll talk to James Woods some more. Cool with that?
I'm cool. I'm hip.
You have to.